For years, board games have gotten a notoriously bad rap for being, well, boring. But fans of the 1995 film Jumanji know that one particular board game is anything but boring. In Zulu, a language native to Southern Africa, Jumanji translates to many effects. And if you've seen the film, you know that name is an understatement. You know what else is an understatement? How important it is for you to ring that bell. That way you learn everything about rocks and gemstones. Maybe you'll learn everything about everything else too. But one of the film's unforeseen effects is exposing its audience to what I believe is a rather large gemstone, the one affixed to the center of the game. Now, there's no discussion of the materials used to construct the board game in the film, but based on its contents, the fact that it was buried for nearly a century before Alan Parrish got his hands on it, and its Zulu-inspired name, I think we can safely assume this is a very old game of African descent. Before we talk more about this old board game, let's first talk about Obsidian. Now trust me, it'll all make sense in a bit. Obsidian is a naturally occurring volcanic glass found all around the world, including a few areas in Africa. It's known as igneous rock, which refers to a variety of crystalline or glassy material formed by the rapid cooling of molten rock. Obsidian contains a fair amount of silica, and since it develops in such a high temperature environment, it doesn't contain very much water. As we all know, water doesn't like to stay water in the heat. Volcanic glass, a rock rather than a mineral, is a mixture of cryptocrystalline grains of silica minerals in a glass-like suspension, a supercooled liquid. Obsidian is formed in the latest stage of volcanic eruptions. The silica left over after most of the other elements in water have been used up and are ejected or flow out and rapidly chilled at surface temperatures. Given the volcanic activity around Ethiopia, Kenya, Wakanda, and Tanzania, it's pretty safe to say you'll probably find some obsidian in this area. In fact, the stone's name comes from the Roman explorer Obsidius, who discovered the gem in Ethiopia, and those little crystallites embedded within can sometimes give the black glass a greenish tint. There's something ominous about this opaque black glass with a hint of green, which may be why it's a popular choice for a crystal ball, similar to the dome-topped glassy material in the center of the Jumanji game board. See? I told you it would make sense. Throughout history, humans have attributed mystical elements to glass. John Dee, a trusted advisor to Queen Elizabeth I, and famed occultist Nostradamus both had obsidian scrying mirrors used to allegedly communicate with spirits. So it's within reason to believe an African mystic placed an enchanted piece of obsidian in the center of Jumanji to power the mystical game. Thanks to the sequel, we have another stone to talk about. By returning the glowing green Jaguar's Eye to its resting place in the Jaguar Shrine, the players of the newly transformed video game Jumanji will be allowed to return to their normal lives, presumably to run around asking passersby,
"What year is it?"
Unlike the center stone of the board game, the Jaguar's Eye glows neon green. Now, I know we've discussed glowing gemstones before. It's a fairly common motif in movies and literature. If you're a Lord of the Rings fan, you probably know all about glowing silmarils. If you don't, it's okay. We've already made a video about them. If you're expecting me to tell you there's some variety of emerald out there that glows like a flashlight, you're about to be disappointed because no such gem exists. But as we discussed in the Silmarils video, there are a few stones that play with natural light, UV light, and temperature in order to gain a glowing power. But that's not all. There are several stones out there that luminesce if the stone is bent or broken, phenomena referred to as piezo-luminescence and triboluminescence, respectively. I'm not saying you can just get a quartz crystal and crack it like a glow stick. In order to get one of these stones to glow, it takes a decent amount of force. If you have some quartz in a drill press lying around and you don't mind destroying your crystal, you could actually see this phenomenon yourself. Actually, don't try this at home. We'll show you what it looks like. These flashes of light are cool and all, but they pale in comparison to the constant green glow of the Jaguar's Eye. I guess in a magical world where you can get sucked into a video game, anything is possible. Did you notice that I talked about Wakanda earlier like it's a place that actually exists? Did you already write a comment about it thinking I said it, not knowing that it's a fictional place? Let us know in the comments below, and don't forget to like and subscribe. For more information on the topics we discussed today, check out the links below. Thanks for watching.